Okay, so welcome. I'm Justin, I'm former head coach for Mesa Rim Reno, and now I'm the customer experience manager for North City. And we're continuing to do these online classes even as Reno continues to open up and further in the future. So there is going to be, for fitness stuff, there's not going to be member clinics like these provided in the facilities for a while. There will be yoga is going to be offered with, at least at Reno, for that studio, it's going to be capped at 6. So there's a 6-person per class limit. And, you know, depending on who you are, for me personally, I think it's easiest right now to stick with some online stuff for a bit. These resources are really cool that we have, and just being able to do this stuff. If you have the space at home, you might as well be able to do that. If you're concerned about being in close proximity with somebody in an enclosed space like a yoga studio, there's all those online resources still there. But if you're someone that, you know, you're kind of over this whole thing and you want to get to it and you want to be around people and be there, then it might be worth checking out. So what are we going to do today? Today is going to be the gnarliest one that we've done so far. So we're going to get back to the root of basically what a HIIT workout is, which is high intensity interval training. So I'm going to give you a rubric of a certain number of things that you're doing every minute, and we're going to go through and do 20 minutes straight. So we're going to start at 10 after and just go from 6:10 until 6:20, and then I'll keep you in the loop for that. So I'm going to put in the chat what those things are going to be. Okay, so this is what we're doing every minute for 20 minutes straight. It's 5 burpees without push-ups. If you want to integrate some of your other push-ups that are listed there into those burpees, you could do that if you want. So this is what we're doing every minute for 20 minutes straight, and then I'm going to be timekeeper. So I'm going to continue to tell you like how much time you have, what your form's looking like, and so on. 10 push-ups and then 15 squats. So I'm going to demo form really quick for each one of those just to make sure that we're all on the same page of like what is like an acceptable rep for these, because your benchmark for what's acceptable versus not for yourself is going to change as the workout progresses, because you're going to get a lot more tired and you're going to be letting things slide that maybe you wouldn't normally. So this is going to drive your heart rate through the roof, and it's going to be a really good workout. It's also going to be really hard to catch your breath. If you feel that you're getting too out of breath, I would recommend that you scale things back a little bit. Continue to try and stay on every minute, but instead of doing like 15 squats every minute, dial it back to 10 squats every minute. If the 10 push-ups are too hard, dial it back to 5 push-ups, right? So you can take a couple repetitions off. I'm not going to be telling any of you to do that. That's kind of on your own to be able to decide how much you need or how little. But I think it's a smart idea to, as we progress further on, if you're completely dying, rather than just like stopping for 3 to 4 minutes at a time, be like, all right, I'm only going to do like 5 of each for this next minute, right? So the goal is to get through the full 20 minutes with solid form. So what does that look like? What does solid form look like? I'm going to demo that for you. Okay, so burpee form, right? So I'm jumping at the top, I'm coming down, I jump out, right? If I'm adding that push up in, I go down to 90 degrees, back up, jump my feet in, jump up, down, out, push up, back in, up, and so on, right? So I have 5 of those every minute. What's the next one on there? The push-ups. So push-up form. I'm looking for hands are about shoulder width apart. I want my elbows angled slightly in, if possible, so I can focus on my triceps more. Back is flat, shoulders are stacked directly over my elbows, right? And then I'm gonna go down to 90 degrees and then back up, right? These are gonna be pretty quick. Like you're gonna be looking like this in terms of pacing for repetitions. You're not gonna wanna do your reps really slow for any of these. And then the squats. What am I looking for squats? So feet gonna be shoulder width apart, right? Or maybe slightly wider, right? Coming down to 90 degrees and then straight back up. So from the side, you can see that my toes are gonna be pointing forward and my knees aren't gonna go too far over my toes. They're maybe just gonna stay in line with them. And then as I come down, I'm sinking my butt back, trying to get my knees to at least a 90-degree bend before I come back up. If you want extra credit, you can come all the way down and all the way back up, but that puts a lot of stress on your knees, so you wanna be mindful of that. And that's it. So there's just like a couple like really simple workouts, but when we stack them together in this format, it becomes immensely challenging. So yes, Caroline.
What can I replace squats with?
Let's have you do do you have your pull-up bar?
I have my hangboard with jogs.
You just did hangboarding though, didn't you?
Yeah.
Let's have you do some core. Let's have you do 15 of any core exercise, but let's have you start with lemon squeezers. Then when you start to die for lemon squeezers, then you can switch to whatever else you want, and then just try and keep it 15 reps of each thing.
Perfecto.
Sound good? Okay. All right, so we're gonna get started here in about 10 seconds. So we wanna make sure we have enough space for everything. 20 minutes straight, and then we're gonna be done. So we're gonna get after it here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. First minute, go. So these are up to you, how you wanna do them. I think probably the best order is to do the burpees and maybe combo a couple of the push-ups in there if possible. Then do the rest of your push-ups and then finish with the squats. Ideally, you can get done with about 20 seconds left or so. So and I'll remind you what it is. So 5 burpees, 10 push-ups, 15 squats. So 5, 10, and then 15. So 5 burpees, 10 push-ups, 15 squats. 30 seconds in right now. As soon as we get to the next minute, if you haven't finished all of the reps, just start over on the next minute, and then I can give you an idea of what that pacing looks like. We got 15 seconds left to finish everything out. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, next minute, start. So 5 burpees, 10 push-ups, 15 squats. Go. So ideally, you should be able to finish this with, I would say, about 15 to 20 seconds left if you're moving fast. But you got to be moving pretty quickly, and you got to be transitioning between those workouts really quick. So for these first couple of minutes, if you miss a few of the reps because you're still getting used to the order and like how much we have of each thing, don't worry about it too much. Just try and get like a rhythm down and focus on your breathing. You also don't want to push as fast as possible, because then you'll just get completely burned out in the beginning, and we have a lot of repetitions to do. "15 seconds left. This is our second minute of 20. You guys are doing awesome. Form looks good. 3, 2, 1. Minute 3, go. So 5 burpees, 10 push-ups, 15 squats. Every minute on the minute. Nice job. 30 seconds. If the push-ups over time, 10 push-ups every minute gets really taxing on your arms. It can be easier to break them into 2 sets of 5. So maybe doing 5 with your burpees and then doing your squats in the middle, and then 5 of the push-ups at the end can be helpful too. 10 more seconds. There's not a set order that you have to do this stuff in. It's just if you try to get it all done every minute. 3, 2, 1. Minute 4, here we go. And you do your best to stay on pace with it. If at any point in time the push-ups get too hard, just even splitting them up into 2 different sets, you have a couple options. You could do modified push-ups by just being on your knees. My preference would be if you use a table or a couch or a chair or something to do them at like an angle, right? So that you're still getting that full body tension for each repetition. 20 seconds. Three, 2, 1. Minute 5, here we go. It's hard. It's really hard. We'll see. I'm gonna check in and see how everybody's feeling at like the 12-minute mark. And if everybody's just feeling obliterated, then I might change the burpees into something different, because the burpees are really explosive and that's hard. That really drives your heart rate up like quite a bit. This is also, like, in terms of difficulty compared to the other ones that we've done in the past, this is up there. This is probably the hardest thing that I've run in one of these clinics so far. But these are also my favorite, because this is what a true HIIT workout looks like. Okay, 5 seconds left. 3, 2, 1. Okay, minute 6, here we go. I would say I'm gonna give you the option to switch the burpees out for 5 of any core workout. Once you start to get too blasted leg-wise, you can do that. And then if you get your heart rate up way too high and you feel like cutting down the reps isn't gonna help, then you can also just sit out for a minute or two and then, like, let yourself calm down, catch your breath, and then hop back in. But as soon as the burpees are just destroying you, swap them out for 5 of any core workout. $15 more seconds, and then we're on to the next minute. And then you can just reset at each minute too. Don't worry about trying to complete previous reps from a minute. Okay, boom, we're on to minute number 7. Minute 7 of 20. Nice job, 30 seconds. I think that these, when we do the, like, really tough HIIT stuff, it's a lot, it's really physical, but the lifts themselves are really easy, right? Like, if you broke these down, like, if I gave you an hour to do this stuff, you would be totally fine. So the difficulty here is coming from the pacing of it and the volume in such a short period of time, right? 3, 2, 1, minute 8, here we go. So that's what makes it really hard, right? Is, like, trying to cram all of it into this, like, 1 minute, because your heart rate gets driven up super high, then your muscles get taxed for oxygen, so you're breathing super, super hard, and you feel like you're not going to be able to do the next thing. So it's a mental battle to be able to make sure that you have a consistent breathing rhythm the whole time, and then also to just focus on, like, I just have this next set. I just have this next set. I'm just doing this right now. This is the only objective. If you start to think too much about other stuff, if those thoughts wander in, then it's really easy to derail. So the full focus should just be like, I'm just doing what's right in front of me right now, and just going to continue to keep going and trying to find some consistency in my breathing. It's a cute doggy. Okay, minute 9, here we go. Once we get to 10 minutes, if people are struggling, I'm gonna force you to take a 2-minute break. If you feel good, then you're gonna continue on. And then after that 2-minute break, I think I'm gonna adjust the repetitions slightly. I'm gonna update that in the chat. Nice job. 20 more seconds. Three, 2, 1, minute 10, here we go. So after this minute, if you're struggling, once we finish with this minute, I'm gonna have you take a 2-minute rest. If you're not struggling, you can continue forward. But at the end of that 2-minute rest, I'm going to change the repetitions a little bit for an alternative option. If you feel like the difficulty right now is good and you're able to stick with it, that's great. Then just keep doing it through the rest of the way. But I'm going to put some different options in there, some regressions from it, so that way you can finish through without completely destroying yourself, right? Because we still want to have decent form throughout. 20 more seconds here. Ten seconds. And rest. Okay. So if we're really struggling, this is the 2-minute break. Okay. We're going to take 2 minutes before we continue on. If we're feeling good, then we're going to continue on with those same repetitions for another 2 minutes. And I'll give you time markers for those while I put some modifications in the chat here to scale things back a little bit. $20 seconds. Boom, minute 12, here we go. So if we're resting for another minute. If we're not resting, then we're pushing through this minute. Okay, so now since we only have 1 minute left, I just sent to the chat the modified for the second half. So the scaled back version, which instead of, it removes those burpees, which are really explosive and heinous to do this with. And then instead it swaps it out for some core stuff. And then it also scales back on the reps for other things. So 5 push-ups, only 10 squats now, and then 10 of any core workout. It does not have to be the core workouts that I listed here. I just provided some examples so that way you don't have to think. You can just be like, I'm doing this, right? So I would stick with the same one for a few minutes, and then once it gets stale or a little bit tiring, then you can switch to a different one. So I listed like lemon squeezers, Russian twists, crunches, axe choppers, V-ups, slow bicycles, all those work. Okay, so we're gonna hop back in now. If we were taking that 2-minute rest, we're hopping back in 2, 1, go. If you want that modification, it's 5 push-ups, 10 squats, and then 10 of any core. So 5 push-ups, 10 squats, 10 of any core. That's gonna be the difference now. We're getting rid of the burpees for the second half since our legs are probably dying, and then we're scaling back the squat repetition number a little bit so that we can hang in there for the rest of the time here. This is minute 13 of 20, so we're getting really close. These are not easy. These are probably the toughest workouts I think to do, are the true HIIT workouts where it's just you have to keep going and you're completely out of breath. So you really got to dig deep for some of these and to continue on. I might have underestimated the difficulty of throwing the burpees in there. That's my bad. Okay, 3, 2, 1, minute 14. Here we go. The burpees in combination of the squats too, I think is where I did you guys wrong. That's pretty mean for the legs. Excellent, nice job. Caroline, nice form. That was really good. Man, you're lucky that I'm not still coaching in Reno, because if I saw that, I'd be like, oh, I know what you can do for V-up form now. And then that would be my expectation all the time. Yeah, those look great. Nice job. Those look really good. Okay, we're going to start minute 15 in 2, 1, boom, minute 15. Here we go. So again, it's 5 push-ups, 10 squats, 10 of any core workout. Some of those core workout options Crunches, axe choppers, slow bicycles, lemon squeezers, it's up to you. They don't have to be on that list either. If you have something that you know works really well for you that you can do a hefty chunk of volume of without having any sort of like irritation, then that's good. Now that we're 15 minutes into this and we've got 5 to go, this is a really good time to check in with yourself and your joints and see what you're feeling. Soreness, tiredness, being extremely out of breath, all of those are good things. Sharp pain and like or extreme aching is not good. So if you're having that for any of these specific workouts, then stop that specific workout and then try and supplement it with maybe a little bit of core stuff, or like holding an isometric for a set period of time. 10 more seconds. 2, 1, minute 16. Here we go. So we only have 4 minutes left. We're really close now. This is like the home stretch. We're over 2/3 of the way done with the whole thing. You guys are doing awesome. I can see the shadow of Caroline's push-ups. Your form looks decent for being tired. Your shadow form at least looks decent.
That's why it's shadow form.
Got 30 more seconds here. Super good form for core stuff for you too, Mary. That's like, these are like shining examples of like what core workouts should look like. You need to bring people in to a Ascent team and be like, this is how you do core work. Okay, we got 5 seconds here, and then we'll be on to minute 17 in 2, 1, minute 17 of 20. Here we go. Excellent. Remember to keep breathing, find that nice consistent pacing for your repetitions and for your breathing. Once your body gets in a solid rhythm, it really helps for these. Your body knows what to expect, knows how much oxygen it's getting, it can calibrate a little bit better. Rhythm is good. Excellent form. Awesome. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, minute 18 of 20. Here we go. We're getting super close here. We've got 2 minutes left, and that's going to be it for the day. $15 more seconds here, and then we'll get into minute 19. In the home stretch, so close. Two, 1, minute 19 of 20. Here we go. So close to being done. Finish the day strong. Try and focus on solid form. We're at the very end. If you can still have good form at the end, that's a really good sign. Intensity wise, this should be hard. You should be really out of breath at this point and struggling. If you aren't struggling, then the repetitions or the specific workouts might be a little bit too easy. If you're struggling so hard that you feel just completely out of it, then it's maybe a little bit on the challenging side, right? But that's okay. These workouts are uncomfortable. They really drive your heart rate up a lot, and that's one of the coolest parts about it is you're burning an exceptional amount of calories in a very short period of time. You're training your body to perform on a low amount of oxygen in a high anaerobic capacity way, which is very cool. 2, 1, boom. This is minute 20. Last one, last minute. Finish strong. Once you're done with your repetitions, then that's it. I would encourage you, try not to lay on the ground when you finish, just because you won't get as much oxygen into your lungs. Your legs are going to be dying, but if you can walk around a little bit, have your hands back behind your head, arms are up, open your chest, will help open up your lungs. Breathe deeply, not just through your nose, but in and out of your mouth first, because you can get higher volume in that way a little bit quicker. That'll help you calm down a little bit. Once your heart rate then starts to drop and even off from walking around and getting some more oxygen in for a couple minutes, then you can start to stretch anything that feels tight. 10 seconds here and then we're done. 3, 2, 1, done. Nice job. Good work. Those are so hard. This is like the gnarliest thing to do. Thanks for sticking through and doing that. That is a big way to test your mental fortitude and see how consistent you can be, how far you can push yourself. All these things are things that you know you can do, but when you crunch that time frame down to smaller and smaller intervals, then it just becomes a test of patience in terms of like managing your breath and consistency to see how far you can push and see if you can get through it. So nice work. I think that maybe the burpees in the beginning were probably a little ambitious there. That's a really explosive workout to do. And I could see that even after the first few minutes. I was like, oh boy, this is maybe a little bit too mean. So if you can, before you leave, probably drop a number for me in the chat just by sending that to me privately. And one would be like easiest, like this is the easiest thing we've done. Hopefully none of you say that. If you do, you're a maniac. 5 would be way too challenging. Just like couldn't keep up with it, just a little bit too hard. And if that's the case for today, that's okay too, because this is the hardest thing that I think we've done in one of these classes. But then the sweet spot that we're looking for is probably somewhere between the 3 or 4. I'd even take maybe like a 4.5 for this, just because this is that hard. So we won't do this again next week. These are a little bit rare. So we'll probably do this maybe another few weeks from now and see. So yeah, thanks for sticking it out. This is gnarly. This is a really tough one to do. These are not, this is like ultimate cardiovascular testing to see like how in shape you actually are. If you can make it through the 20 minutes, even doing like the stuff that we did, then y'all are in some pretty good shape. So thanks for coming. I'm going to shut this one down. Make sure that you stretch a little bit. Make sure you drink water. You're also probably going to be a lot more hungrier than normal, just because this is a very high calorie burning workout. But again, we're doing these every Tuesday and Thursday at 6, so you can come hang out with me here. And remember to look at that link in the beginning of the chat too. If you're curious about checking out the Reno gym, you want to see what types of PPE protocol we're going to be doing, it's all listed there. So I'd encourage you to research up on it before just blindly going to the gym, to make sure that you feel comfortable with that, and then so you can get an idea of what the gym's going to look like. But it is opening on the 8th, so you can take a look and see what you think. But thanks for coming by. That's it for me, and I'll see you guys later.
Thanks, Justin.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.